Okay, so we've got Akuma this weekend. We have Mr. James Slavin with us, former cage conflict champion, former chaos champion, and he's going to be fighting this weekend for the Akuma featherweight championship. How are you? How's things? And how are you feeling about the fight?
Good man, feel great. Happy just to be fight week. Really, really happy and a great place. Just loving life, loving training. Um, I'm just ready to put on a big performance this weekend, claim the title, and just show everyone what of the work that I've been putting in. I know you've seen a wee glimpse of it, cage conflict in February. But I'm a completely different fighter from then. So it's really exciting that I know, what I'm gonna be able to do this weekend. So just doing it now. Just doing it.
Yeah, and like I said, February, that's quite a bit away. For me, there was like a cluster of shows and a massive break, and then there's like going to be the shows coming up at the end. In that time, with just training, no kind of shows coming up, do you feel you've improved a lot more because you've just been in training and enjoying the training rather being in a training camp?
Hmm. Well, how long goes that now? Like 6 months, 5 months?
Yeah.
That's a long time for me not to be fighting. Like I want to be fighting every other month because it's all I do. Like I want to fight as much as possible. Um, but I was meant to fight on the last cage conflict against Aidan O'Boyle, and obviously the fight fell through. Uh, the week before, 10 days out, and I think the fight was I offered to a couple of people, and just it didn't come to fruition, which was frustrating. But I was ready to go then, and I just got better since then. So I feel like I would have put on a great performance that night as well, but I'm even better than I would have been that night now. So I've improved so much. Like I'm at FAI now, like a year, probably about 11 months maybe. Um, every session, hey, I'm just getting better. I I'm just really improving, like massively, massively.
Yeah, no, and I can't wait to see those improvements because that is a long time to not have a fight. And when I can see why you'd be frustrated, I want to call you the day of, Matt. Like you've jumped in so many times the day of. I'd say you wish there was a lot more people like yourself that would have jumped
Yeah,
in one time. But
yeah,
like you said, going forward, we're just going to see what it's like. And obviously, you've got a very good opponent in front of you. He actually fought Tiernan
yes.
yesterday, and he done very very well in that fight. Uh,
Mhm.
and I think the last two performances, he hasn't looked as good as he has. But like, what are you expecting from what are you expecting from him? Because I think he's a very good fighter. He hasn't shown what he's really capable of, especially in his last fight.
Yes. I'm expecting as you say, a game fighter that's coming off two defeats. Is it now? He's lost two in a row, has he? So, look, I know what losing feels like. I know what way I would be coming on their fight if I just lost two. So I'm expecting someone that's going to be really game and they give me a good fight, but I just feel like I'm gonna be better everywhere. Like I just feel like I'm on a different level. No disrespect or anything to him, but I just feel like he's where he is and I'm where I am, which is I feel levels above. But I can say it all now. Like I just had to show it on Saturday night. But going back to you saying about not many people are willing to step up or whatever. Me and James Hughes were having this conversation last week because his fight has fell through on Akuma, and we were chatting, and he's like, "There's not many people really willing to step up anymore. I wish there was more kind of fighters like you out there that's willing to just step on short notice." And that's what I was hoping for at the last cage conflict. Someone willing to step up for me, and I was telling myself that all week. I've stepped on enough, so someone's definitely going to step up for me now. But it wasn't to be, and I it is what it is. It is what it is. But back to your question, Kevin. Good, good fighter. Seems solid everywhere as well. To be fair, but I just think I'm a good but better everywhere than him, and I'm gonna show it on Saturday.
Yeah, and like you said, you feel like your level is above from the last time we seen you. Talk to us what training is like at the minute, because there's a host of fighters like just below your weight, and above your weight. What's it
Mm.
like with bodies like that? Like you've obviously got
Yeah.
I don't even want to start naming them because I'm going to miss someone and I'm going to get in trouble.
Yeah. No, I'll name them, and we'll definitely miss. You're gonna miss people, like, because there is that many, and that's a fucking great thing to be able to forget. Is, so many fighters at my weight, bantamweight, bantam fella, like start with lightweight, like Paul, Paul Hughes, Corey, Tiernan, Blaine, Owen Oliver, Owen McDonald. Aye, so many. I can't even see. You're putting me on the spot now. I can't even think of. I'm probably forgetting 30 people, but no, the bodies are unreal, and like, how can you not be getting better and improving when you're around all these people all the time that have the same goals and same drive as you? It's just, it's fucking great to be part of. I love going up the training. Like, I stay up sometimes, but when I'm driving up from there, I'm bouncing out of the house to drive up to Belfast. No joke. And when I first moved, I didn't know if that was going to be the case. I maybe thought all the travel and all, look, it might get to me. I love it, really. I be fucking bouncing up the road, and the coaching's amazing too. Like, so, it's it's a great place. That's all I can say is, it's like, it's a great place, and I really enjoy it. It's I feel like it's a great fit for me. Like, Pat and Shando they're just two good people as well, but they're really, really driven. And I feel like I'm an alright person, and I'm really driven as well. So we link well, and also I work a lot with Adam McGarity as well, and Aidan Devlin. Them two have been helping me out a load too. So shout out to them too. They're kind of on the shadows a wee bit, and the coaching kind of. Pat and Shando are the two main coaches, obviously, but them two put on a lot of work too with us, so it's great.
Yeah, no, there is top class coaching, and what I notice about Shando, Pat, and the rest of the coaches as well. Like I said, you do even forget how many coaches they have there because it's just a host, but like they seem to just like if their fighters are fighting, obviously if they're away with Paul or whatever, they'll be doing that. But like if their fighters are fighting novice fighters, like they will show up to those shows. They were at Fit to Fight. They're there on a Sunday evening. They have families, and they seem to put 100% in. And I assume that's what they expect back. If they don't get that back, like they're not gonna, not that they go injured, but like that's what they expect because that's what they put in. What's it like to have someone that will put that much effort into you?
Oh, it's great. It's great. Like, Pat and Shando shit from the hip. Like, they're not gonna sugarcoat anything. Like, when I first moved up, it was a case of, we'll put as much effort on the you as you put on the training. And I put a lot of effort on the training and a lot of effort on the traveling up. And they put a lot of effort on me in return. So I it's some you don't always I don't always think about it, but now that you're asking me, I'm like, fuck, they do put a lot of work onto me too. I know it's great. It's really good. I'm grateful to be around just such driven people that are on the same path and want the same things that I want, and they want the same goals that I want for myself. They want me to, push on and work towards them too. So I know it's great to be part and have them type of people that are pushing you on, because it's nice having the drive yourself, which I do have. But then when you have two people like Pat and Shando pushing you on as well, it can only push you to the top. Like, so that's where I feel like I'm going.
Yeah, and obviously you're going to be able to showcase your improvements since February this weekend. You're going to be fighting obviously on Akuma, which is a fantastic show. I was at the last one; it'd been away for a while. We got like the Damien McGuigan spinning heel kick, which was fantastic. The whole show was fantastic, and I really liked the setup with Steven, and I think he's fantastic. But when you were fighting, obviously there's a couple of fighters from your gym on it. What's the buzz like in the gym when it's like fight week? Joe, everyone's like you all pushing each other, and obviously even there's gonna be fighters that aren't competing, but they still put their shifts in with you because they know when it comes to their turn to fight, you'll do the same. What's the buzz like at the minute?
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great. We actually were due to have maybe like 6 or 7 people on the show, and just fights fall through, like, don't they? So, no, the build up's been great. We've had probably probably had about 7, 8 hard weeks at it now, and we had a group of like every Wednesday we would go up to this hill in Belfast. It's called St Mary's Hill. We would do like a session with Adam on a Wednesday, and then there was about 10 of us up on this hill. The worst hill you've ever seen in your whole life. It's absolute death. It's terrible. But once you know you can do 8, 9, 10 sets of that together, and everyone's pushing each other, like, it gets you ready for the fight. So the buzz was great, and um, loads of good rounds, and also Tiernan Locker, and he's fighting the same week this weekend too, Sunday. So we've been working a load together and stuff too. So no, it's been great. Really good buzz. There's always a good buzz in the gym though, do you know what I mean? Because someone always has a big fight coming up. And I was putting my dues on, when I didn't have a fight, because I would expect people to do that for me also whenever I have a big fight coming up, like, to be there and put the work on alongside me to help. It's just you have to be selfless too, because people are willing to put their bodies on the line for you in training. So I'm definitely willing to do that also for people, like, anybody. I would do it for anybody in the gym, like, but uh,
Yeah, no, and you mentioned the likes of Tiernan there. You've got Paul Hughes, you've got Reese in the UFC. What's it like? Obviously, Tiernan's just starting his kind of pro career, but he signed to
yeah.
Levels, which is, I think, is a really good starting place for a pro fighter, because when you go around the regional scene, and this is no disrespect, but he's got the contract for, I think it's 3 fights or maybe 5 fights, but it's really like that. You said fights fall out quite a bit, but when you're on the something like Levels, you're nearly guaranteed to be getting your fights. When you see him going to promotions like that, Paul obviously making his decision for PFL, you've got Reese in UFC. What's it like looking at those lads and seeing that these things are achievable if you put the work in?
Aye, it's good. Like, you're just rubbing shoulders with people where you want to go to. You know what I mean? And boys that are showing you, like, I'm sharing the mats with these boys, and we're putting good rounds and good work on together. So there's no reason there's no reason why I can't be where these lads are. Do you know what I'm saying? Uh no, it's great. It's great. And Paul going to PFL, it just opens our eyes to, like, different avenues that you can take in the sport as well. Like, I want to be one of the best fighters in the world, no doubt. But also I want to, like, set up a life for my family, and set up a life for myself as well. Like, I'm not I I'm I'm grateful to be around these people, and them, and show me different paths as well. That, like, it was always just all the UFC or whatever, which, here, I would absolutely love to get to the UFC, but it's not the be all and end all of the sport. Do you know what I mean? It's there's other options that you can go down, and you said Levels and Brave, Cage Warriors, all these kind of starting level pro ranks are good, and it's good to have options, isn't it? Like, so.
Yeah, it's better to be looking at them than looking for them. Do you know, that sort of a way? Whereas it used to be
Definitely.
Cage Warriors, UFC, whereas now, like I said, there's Levels, PFL, Bellator. Obviously, they've merged. You've got Octagon that's come on the scene as well,
Yeah.
and a lot of the European promotions are on Fight Pass now as well. So you've got FCC, which is in the UK, which is on Fight Pass. There's so
Yes.
many more options than there was years ago. But I think that's obviously with the explosion of kind of MMA at the minute, and amateur MMA at the minute. What's your thoughts on it? I just think the scene right now is buzzing. I just think it's like, I think some of our amateurs, the likes of yourself and I can't even think off the top of my head. Like, you've got Damien McGuigan and Shay Cleland, too. I think are two of the best flyweights around. Like, the fights that they've had, like, are better
Yeah.
than some of the early level pros in other countries. Like, what do you make of the scene right now?
I think the amateur Irish MMA scene's probably one of the best in the world. Has to be. If you look at the many fighters and the many fights that are on every weekend, and the level of the fighting, like, I don't really. I've seen, obviously, Scottish and English amateur MMA, Welsh as well. But, like, in terms of, like, France, Spain, America, and all, like, what's their amateur MMA like? Is there even, you don't hear anything about it, like, either, like, and that's just maybe just because I'm on the bubble of all them countries, but you don't hear anything about it. I think Ireland probably has the best amateur MMA scene, one of the best anyway in the world, if not the best in the world. So it's mad exciting, like to even think of it that way, because when Connor and all was coming up in the UFC, I'm not too sure if it was that way, but like in the last 4 or 5 years, it seems like it has been, top of the crop. So it's so exciting to be part of. Like I'm buzzing to be part of it, and I want to be pushing towards going pro and going under all these massive organizations and seeing what all these people from all these other countries are really like. And I think we'll be showing the world what the Irish are all about in the next 5 or 6 years. You'll see that just that level of top amateurs that are around now at the minute, pushing on the like top organizations in the next 4, 5, 6 years, and we'll not just be getting there. Like we'll be winning fights and taking over them organizations. I think like.
Yeah, and I agree with you as well. Like, I just think that the scene right now is buzzing. And like, you look at the UFC, I want to say we five. I might be wrong in that you've got like Sean, Kaelan, Reese, Connor, and I know I'm forgetting someone, Kiefer. So we've got five in the UFC right now.
Yeah.
We obviously had Paddy, which was on the contender series, yeah, and Omran, who's from Team KF. Like, that's like when you think of the size of our country, like
No.
compared to America and all these other places, to have these people breaking through is just it's good. And then, like I said, there's Paul, PFL, Will Fleury on Octagon. I just think the scene is going to explode. I don't know what it is. I think what we're seeing now is Connor's rise. We're seeing the kind of fruits of the tail end of that, is what I think, and it's only going to get better. It's because the level at the minute is unbelievable. But your fight this weekend, obviously, you're looking to get the win, obviously, and get another belt. Is there any more shows before the end of the year you'd like to get, or is this going to be it for the year, or are you just going to kind of focus on this fight and see what's next?
I am just going to focus on this fight. You know what? I'm not even going to talk about anything else, Dave. No, not being cheeky or disrespectful,
Oh,
but I'm putting my full focus on the Kevin this weekend. Uh, my full focus is on this weekend, just getting the job done, and then after that, we'll maybe we can talk again about what might happen after that. But for this fight and put my full focus on it, um, the world doesn't exist after Saturday for me at the minute, like so. Just fully focused on putting a putting a performance on Saturday night, and then whatever comes after comes after. But I'm not looking there at the minute. It's all about Saturday for me.
You know, and I like that attitude as well. Did you always have that attitude, or did you before like kind of look ahead at what's next? Was it always just what's in front of you? That's the most dangerous opponent you have, and then after that, it's after that.
No, I've made these mistakes. That's why I feel this way now. Like couple of I'm not gonna go on the specifics on it, but like a couple of fights ago, I was thinking about 2, 3 fights down the line, and you get a rude awakening because you haven't been fully focused on a fight. Um, so I've made these mistakes and learned from them, and that's why I have full focus on this weekend. Um, I basically so I have made these mistakes before, and I'm not going to do it ever again. So fully focused on this weekend.
Yeah, and I like that. Obviously, you said you've improved in skill sets, and obviously your fight, like your mentality and stuff, has improved a
Yeah,
lot
improve up there too.
with that. Because I think there's a lot of mental that goes into fighting that people don't understand. I know obviously it's very physical, but I think there's a huge mental aspect of it that a lot of people kind of overlook sometimes. So like that little things of thinking too far ahead, stuff like that. But it's going to be a
Yeah.
fantastic show, actually, because Damien and are you were you co-main event? Are you now main event?
No, I'm co-main. I'm co-main. I don't know who. Some other two fellas are main event, but you know.
The people's main event. Um, I can't wait to see you compete this weekend. It's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you. Is there anything you want to say before you go, or anyone you want to shout out?
I actually want to give a big thanks to just all my sponsors, my coaches. I have a great circle around me at the minute, Dave. I really do. My family, my friends, everyone are just everyone is just buying into the cause at the minute, and it's great. It's a great feeling whenever everyone's starting to see your dreams and your goals and helping pushing you towards it. Like, so everyone that I have in my life at the minute is just pushing me towards where I'm telling them I want to get to. So I everyone knows who they are. Like, playing these big roles in my life. My coaches, my friends, my training partners, my sponsors, my close family too. So they know who they are, and it's a great feeling. They have all these people around me that um are just helping me, which is I'm super grateful for it.
Yeah, no, and I can't wait to see you this weekend. It's been a pleasure once again, and best of
Yeah.
skill.
Nice one, Dave. Cheers, Al.
Perfect. Thank you.